Am I the asshole for refusing to let my fiancé's brother move in with us? So, I, 34M, have been with my fiancée, Sarah, 29F, for 3 years, and we're planning to get married in the spring. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment, both work stable jobs, and our life is pretty calm, until recently. Sarah's younger brother, Jake, 25M, hit a rough patch. He's had trouble holding down jobs, choosing to focus on his painting rather than work a steady gig. He's been living with friends and occasionally with their parents, but they recently downsized and can't take him in. 2 weeks ago, Sarah asked if Jake could crash with us for just a month or two, until he saved enough for his own place. I was hesitant because Jake and I don't exactly get along. He's messy, can be entitled, and just assumes others will help him out. I asked Sarah if she was sure he'd only stay temporarily, but she insisted he'd be gone in 2 months. To compromise, I agreed he could stay 1 month, under the conditions that he helps out with rent and chores. Sarah agreed. Well, Jake moved in last weekend, and it's been a disaster. He sleeps until noon, leaves his art supplies all over, and even blasts music while he paints. I tried talking to him, but he brushed me off, saying I'm too uptight. When I brought it up with Sarah, she told me to be patient because he's adjusting. Then last night, I found Jake eating the food I'd prepped for my work lunches. I lost my cool and told him he needed to start respecting our space or find somewhere else to stay. He accused me of being selfish and said that Sarah would help me if I were struggling. This led to a huge fight with Sarah, where she accused me of being heartless and making things difficult for her brother. Now, I'm torn. I feel like I'm just setting reasonable boundaries, but Sarah insists I'm overreacting and not being supportive. So, am I the asshole for wanting Jake to follow our agreement and keep some boundaries? Or should I just let it go for the sake of peace? Not the asshole, but you have a bigger problem than your FBIL. I hate to say it, but it sounds like Sarah is always going to back her brother over you, and I'm pretty sure that she only accepted your compromise to get her brother in the house. Not the asshole, but your future wife is. I'm all for supporting family, but if they are pests and uncooperative, they need to move out. Think carefully about marrying your girlfriend. You had a front row preview what your life will be like when her family is concerned. Imagine what would this look like if you had kids. Maybe you should leave Sarah and brother the apt. Let the landlord know you want off the lease. Move out somewhere much small, and live the best life you can, because you will be losing this battle. Is it just me, or is it always a Jake in these stories? Anyway, assuming this is real, you need to start enforcing boundaries hard. It's not your job to make things easy for her loser, food-stealing brother. By hard I mean either Jake goes or you do within the week. You need to let Sarah understand that you need your private space, and either she supports you both as a couple or she can support her brother by herself. Not the asshole. Sarah is showing you who her priority is. Kick them both out and they can live together. I'd say Sarah and Jake's parents downsized deliberately because they were sick of accommodating their deadbeat son. Not the asshole. You have a, Sarah, problem. You need to go hard on this. Give Jake until the end of the month to go. Meanwhile, you should be making plan to go yourself, if he stays. Dude, you're 34 and working hard to live a peaceful life. You should never feel like an outsider in your own home. Am I the asshole for allowing my daughter to use the bathroom before my partner showers after work? Let me set the scene. Edited spelling, my bad. It is 6 a.m. My partner, 45M, and I, 33F, are chatting in the kitchen as they have recently come home from a 12-hour night shift in manufacturing. My partner was telling me their plan to shower and get to bed quickly this morning. As we are talking, my daughter, 7, wakes up and heads to the bathroom with the shower. We have a half bath in the basement away from the bedrooms. I say nothing to her. My partner comments that it is bullshit that I allowed her to do that. I state that she will only be a moment. She ends up taking less than 5 minutes, likely close to 3 tops. She goes back to bed and he hopes in the shower. While in the shower, my partner reminds me we have talked about this before and they shouldn't have to bring it up. He believes that she should not be using the bathroom. He needs to get ready for bed, or work, at any point during the time he will be in and out of it. I have been told I am inconsiderate for allowing her to get away with this behavior. So, am I the asshole for believing a quick trip to the bathroom is reasonable? Edit to add. We got into a large fight over the situation. I told him it was not a big deal that she took a quick pee. He thinks it is inconsiderate that he was not asked if he needed the bathroom before she went in. He always asks us if we need the bathroom beforehand, even with the fact there is a half bathroom in the basement. To him, it's not that she used the bathroom, it's that we are both inconsiderate of not finding out anyone else needs it first. I think that should only apply to using the shower. He is most upset that he is not considered in the same way he considers us. They're 33 and 45 though. At this point both are old enough to catch shitty behavior. Not sure if this rule truly apply here. Also not the asshole. But the man clearly has no idea what it's like to live with a kid. This issue isn't that deep, kiddos not taking 20 minutes, sounds like they're doing the quick morning pee routine. Again, it's a non-issue. Is this an isolated issue that he just can't get past, or is he this nitpicky with more things to do with your kiddo? Are you positive this is the stepdad energy you want around your kid? You are the asshole for not calling out his behavior and defending your daughter a year ago. It also sounds like you didn't call it out again, so he's still thinking you're in agreement. My husband got back for a 12-hour night shift this morning. We also have a bathroom downstairs away from the bedrooms. Our daughter had to go to the toilet just as he was starting to get ready for bed. Do you know what he said? Nothing, because a sleepy little kid should be able to go to the toilet without having to check the time and date to figure out if someone might use the bathroom. If he did say something, guess who'd be using the other bathroom? Not my daughter, that's for sure. Next thing he'll be angry because she's wetting the bed rather than deal with the toilet anxiety he gives her. Not the asshole, but this is not okay and you should call him out on this. It's 3 minutes and it's at 6 a.m. Sounds like he was talking to you and not actively showering, getting ready in there like he should have been if those 3 minutes were so important. He's picking a fight with a 7-year-old or you or both. Not the asshole. He says you're allowing your daughter to get away with this behavior. To be clear, the behavior in question is going to the bathroom. Your partner may be middle-aged, but he's very immature. This is a pretty bright red flag. My partner comments that it is bullshit that I allowed her to do that. FFS, women, when a man can't find a partner his _own age, there is a reason for that. Not the asshole. Really? He seriously wants a child to schedule her bathroom visits around his showers? What behavior is she getting away with? Listening to her bodily functions? How dare she? He's just coming off as creepy and controlling. Am I the asshole if I get birds instead of helping my sisters? 34 female, purchased a large, Victorian manor, fixer-upper a few years ago. It was a huge labor of love, everything needed replacing from the roof to the studs. Little by little, I slaved over it, making it my own. At some point in the house's history, a very large glass atrium, aviary was built in the middle of the house. It spans all 4 stories, doming out over the roof like a skylight. In it is a mature tree that reaches the 3rd floor, as well as smaller vegetation, a small koi pond, and 2 benches. It is very much the focal point of the house. It's what sold me on the house in the first place. The renovations of the house are coming to an end, including the reconstruction of the atrium. Every month, a professional comes to check the thermostat and humidity, misters, water pH, etc. On his next visit, he will bring the birds, teaching me how to care for them in between visits. It's a huge undertaking and I am very much up to the challenge. I have 2 sisters, Ashley 25 female and Katerina 36 female. My relationship is strained at best with them, as I am usually little more than a walking ATM to them. The past year I have started to grow a spine, and they hate it. I no longer pay their rents and car notes, and I stopped giving them allowances, asking them both to get jobs. They say family helps family, and I've done well for myself, so I should subsidize their lifestyles, very expensive lifestyles, I might add. During recent conversation, I told them I was excited to get my new birds. I had birds growing up and was eager to start this new adventure again. My oldest sister says what I'm doing is animal abuse, forcing birds to stay trapped inside when birds belong outside. She even threatened to call animal services on me. My younger sister chimed in saying what a waste of money it is. That I could be using that money to help my sisters, since I know they did not take a summer vacation this year that I usually pay for each season. They really went in on me hard, to the point I started to cry a little. My younger sister felt a little bad and said she shouldn't have been so harsh, but I needed to hear the truth, and my older sister said she had nothing to apologize for. I left their apartment on bad terms. They are still really upset with me, saying blood is thicker than water, or in this case, birds. I'm worried I've become so caught up in the excitement that I'm being an asshole. With my sisters, there never seems to be an end to my responsibilities. It's exhausting. I just wanted some birds. But maybe they are right. Am I the asshole for choosing birds over my own sisters? I appreciate everyone so much. It really gave me the strength in my resolve to go low contact for now. Also, I've received a few PMS accusing me of tearing down a historical home, which couldn't be farther from the truth. I brought it back to its original glory, which was the goal all along. Intricate crown moldings and gold inlays restored, the original sweeping front banisters have been sanded of previous paint and returned to natural wood finishes. Hell, even the dumbwaiter was restored to former glory. This house took blood, sweat, and tears to restore. I swear to you that I was not hasty or careless in its restoration. This was not a DIY job. Yuck. This is a small slice of life obviously. Do your sisters reciprocate in any way? Do they bring some kind of goodness or fulfillment to your life? If not, they're leeches. Let them work to fund their own lifestyles. Not the asshole, and your house sounds amazing. I love Victorian architecture. Get the birds and name 2 of them after your sisters. Not the asshole and lol to the animal abuse. It sounds like the birds will have the run of the place. Not the asshole. You didn't choose birds over your sisters. You chose them over their greed. Good on you for not subsidizing their life anymore and letting them take advantage of you. You needed to hear the truth? Rolling on the floor laughing. OMG, not the asshole. Enjoy your home, you've earned this little paradise. Time for sisters to start earning their way too. You should totally put a post of your house one day. By the way, not the asshole. The sheer entitlement to demand and expect you to foot the bill for them for the rest of their lives is ridiculous and downright childish. You're not even the eldest either, and that just speaks volumes about the type of person your sisters are. Especially your older sister. Just sad on their part that they think they can insult you and have a tantrum because you're literally standing your ground. Maybe it's time to cut them off and go NC with them? Am I the asshole for telling my mom that she is the reason I don't want to have kids? I, 22F, have a rocky relationship with my mom. She was extremely mentally and emotionally abusive in my teenage years. We fought multiple times a day. I was under immense pressure to perform in tennis and my academics. I would be screamed at if my grades weren't perfect. I was berated for not trying hard enough, even after I was diagnosed with ADD, got meds, and straight A's. She would also weigh me on a weekly basis and scold me when I gained weight, and she sent me to fat camp multiple times as a kid. She even made me be a camp counselor to lose some weight before college, and refused to pick me up when everyone quit and I was left to run the camp by myself. I was only 19. Nothing I did was ever good enough. Freshman year of HS I had a new tennis coach. I was very close to my coach, and a year later he was shot and killed. His death hit me like a train. I felt that I had lost a crucial male figure in my life. My mom refused to let me miss any school because high school is too important. I became depressed and she accused me of being on drugs and threatened to drug test me. I was absolutely gutted by the lack of trust. I had never done any drugs or alcohol. She finally put me in group therapy at my school, but pulled me out shortly after when she realized I was being taken out of class for it. She told me that God took my coach away from me because I didn't appreciate him enough. To this day I cannot go into a church without bawling and thinking that God hates me and took away someone I cared so much about. During our fights I would tell her that when I went to college I would cut communication off with her forever. My dad told me to write my mom a letter telling her how I felt, and I wrote that I would never have kids because I didn't want them around her. Since then she has been making a huge effort to mend our relationship and fix herself, and recently our relationship has been good. She still makes a few remarks here and there, and being with her in person leads to a few fights, but overall it is night and day. My parents have been asking me when I am going to get married and have kids because they want to be grandparents. I haven't been in a relationship in over 3 years and I'm not seeing anyone. I told my mom that I don't think I want to have kids and she called me selfish. She told me that her and my dad are gutted that I would deprive them of being grandparents and said it's not fair, that I am still punishing her for her past mistakes. She also asked me how I expect to find a husband if I don't want to have children. Although I initially said those things to hurt my mom, I really don't know if I want to have kids. I know that she has made a real effort and change to fix our relationship, but I still hold some resentment towards her from the past. She cries thinking about the fact that she might not be a grandmother, and I can't help but feel bad that I would be depriving her of that and unfairly punishing my dad when she has made a real effort to change. Am I the asshole? Edit. Just wanted to provide some clarity for some of the things I've been seeing in the comments. I am not an only child. I do have a younger sister who probably wants to have children, but she wants to pursue medical school and wouldn't be able to start a family for some time. My mom believes that since I am the oldest I should be the first to get married and have children, and since I want to go to law school, a 3 years program vs 8 plus YRS med school, I should be able to have kids soon. My dad did call her out for her abusive BS, get into fights about how she was treating me and defended me, but that was the extent of his involvement. He was mostly at work when we would have our worst fights. I told my mom that I don't think I want to have kids and she called me selfish. She told me that her and my dad are gutted that I would deprive them of being grandparents and said it's not fair, that I am still punishing her for her past mistakes. So she still has main character syndrome, makes everything about her, and punishes you and guilts you, which amounts to emotional abuse, when you don't behave according to what she wants. When she has made a real effort to change. Has she though? From the above, it doesn't seem like she has. She seems to have acted like she has changed because she realized it was in her best interests to act. Now little by little that act is falling apart and he true self is coming out again. All other issues aside, here is the brass tacks, from the mother of 2 grown sons. You are not obligated to have children just to make your parents happy. Keep repeating that, and when you falter, repeat it again. Having children is a personal decision that you and your partner should make based solely on what is right for both of you. It's not a committee decision. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, she hasn't changed, she's been hiding it. And where was your dad when your mother was abusing you? Tell them that they're lucky that you talked to them at all. Not the asshole. Your mother is cruel and abusive. Don't rush into a relationship and marriage just to give her grandchildren she can abuse in the future. Work on healing yourself and put some distance between yourself and your mother. But if and when in the future you want to have kids, don't let her anywhere near them. It's a personal choice, you owe her nothing. And there are plenty of people out there for you who also choose to be child-free. She started to fix herself and mend the relationship because you said you weren't going to have kids. She didn't do it for you or herself. She did it to get grandkids. Not the asshole, you're 22, not 42. Your mom needs to back off. While she may be ready to be granny, your life is just starting. Do all the things you've always wanted to do but couldn't. Travel, hobbies, and definitely get the therapy you want. If your parents wanted to be assured that they would be grandparents, they should have more kids, and your mom should have been a better mom. Pretending she is now, is way too late. The damage is done and there may be consequences to her actions.